Hi, this is Mark Siddall from LEAP, the low energy architectural practice that uses a lovingly engineered architectural process. A number of years ago, I learned that buildings aren't performing as you and I would expect. And as an architect, this humbled me. It troubles me now just as it did back then. In fact, it's a growing concern for the construction industry as a whole, as highlighted in reports by the Architects Journal in April 2013. I was and am convinced that these performance gaps can be addressed. So much so that I've spent years researching solutions, and along the way I've documented this work. As you'd no doubt appreciate, the process of reading and assimilating hundreds of academic papers is a time-consuming affair, and it's taken hundreds of hours to pull together all the documentation, and then write it up in a fairly accessible format. At last count, the financial value of the time spent developing all these documents was in excess of £30,000, and I'm going to offer you this for free. I'm sure that you'll recognise that knowledge alone isn't sufficient. The real secret to delivering building performance is application. Architects that lack the drive and the passion, and have not absolutely committed to delivering their clients' needs, are unlikely to implement the knowledge that they may gain from reading this work alone. The result is that buildings can still fail to perform if these issues are not addressed. I believe that architects have got an ethical imperative to address the performance gaps, and if you agree, then when looking for an architect, you should ensure that you find evidence, rather than rhetoric, that clearly demonstrates that they're engaged in addressing the building performance gap. Whilst we have successes and failures, it's the commitment to learning from that experience that's important. If the architect in question can demonstrate to your satisfaction that they're truly and deeply committed to addressing performance gaps, then you've got a greater certainty that your project will perform as intended. More recently, some buildings that I've been involved with have been through the building performance evaluation process by Leeds Metropolitan University. Now, the earlier studies have confirmed that 95% of the homes that they've studied are not performing as intended, but they've also established that the projects that I've worked on do perform. On the right, you'll see the results from the co-heating tests that have been undertaken at the racecourse estate. The blue indicates the heat loss parameter as measured, and the red indicates the design. You'll see that on the racecourse estate, the two are within very close correlation. In fact, they're within measurement error. On other projects, the differences can be between 30 and 70%. This means that the racecourse estate has national, if not international, significance. To my mind, such studies show that the evidence-based approach is the right one. Now, to access the 30 articles that I've written on building performance, please insert your details in the form below. And I'd be interested to find out and get some feedback from you about what your thoughts are about building performance and any areas that you think that I could do with undertaking some research into. Furthermore, I've prepared a little bibliography of all the information that you'll have access to down below. Feel free to browse that before you punch in your details. Thanks a lot.